Nothing crushes a kid's Disney dream more than running up to a ride only to be turned away because they're not tall enough to ride it. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and this is my vacation guide where we go over all things Disney, Universal, and cruising for families and couples. Today we're breaking down every Walt Disney World ride and what the height requirement is. That way you're prepared for the next trip to Walt Disney World with your family and kiddos. Of course, we're going to start with Magic Kingdom, the OG Walt Disney World park. And in its current state as of September 28, 2025, it has 21 rides, plus the railroad and the Main Street vehicles. And we're not going to count the Carousel of Progress in this, even though it has a moving seat, because I consider it a shell. Out of those 21 rides at the Magic Kingdom, 14 of them are an any height requirement ride, which means anyone of any age and height can ride these rides. That's a lot. If you're wondering what those 14 are, I'm going to put them on the screen and I will read them off to you. Astro Orbiter, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, Jungle Cruise, Mad Tea Party, The Magic Carpets of Aladdin, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Prince Charming Regal Carousel, Tomorrowland Transit Authority The People Mover, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, and then of course, which I didn't include in the total numbers, but the railroad and the Main Street vehicles are also any height attractions. Now there's 14 any height requirement rides, which means there are 7 height requirement rides. Let's get into those. The shortest height requirement ride is 32 inches for the Tomorrowland Speedway. The next is 35 inches for the Barnstormer. The Barnstormer is the perfect first roller coaster. Don't underestimate the Barnstormer though, it is still a little thrilling, but because it's so short, it's perfect to get kids used to riding roller coasters. Next up is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which has a 38-inch height requirement. I also feel like this is a really good first time roller coaster. It is longer than the Barnstormer, but it's so smooth and it has that dark ride element too, so it's not just a roller coaster. The next height mark is 40 inches, which will be for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. After that, Space Mountain is a 44-inch height requirement, and the highest height requirement in the Magic Kingdom, and actually all of Walt Disney World, aside from riding alone on the Tomorrowland Speedway, is 48 inches for Tron Light Cycle Run. Next up is Epcot, and Epcot has 11 rides, 7 of which are any height and 4 that have a height requirement. The 7 rides that don't have a height requirement in Epcot are Frozen Ever After, Grand Fiesta Tour, Journey into Imagination with Figment, Living with the Land, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and Spaceship Earth. There are 4 height requirement rides in Epcot, one of which has 2 different height requirements, and that is Mission Space. The green side, which is less intense, is 40 inches, and the orange side, which is more intense, is 44 inches. The other 2 40-inch height requirement rides in Epcot are Soarin' Around the World and Test Track. Then that leaves Guardians of the Galaxy, which has a 42-inch height requirement. Moving on over to Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios has 9 total rides, and this park seems to be more geared towards older children. However, there's still plenty of things for younger kiddos to do with the shows and the character meet and greets. So don't count Hollywood Studios out of your trip just because you have little kids. There are only 2 any height rides here in Hollywood Studios, and they are Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Toy Story Midway Mania. The 7 rides that have height requirements are Alien Swirling Saucers at 32 inches, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run at 38 inches, Slinky Dog Dash at 38 inches, the Tower of Terror at 40 inches, Star Tours The Adventure Continues at 40 inches, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at 40 inches, and finally Rock and Roller Coaster, which is 48 inches. Like I said, there's still plenty to do for little kids at Hollywood Studios, and walking through Toy Story Land is really awesome. They will love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and they will love Midway Mania because it's like that shooting style attraction where they get to beat their family members. And all of the character meet and greets, there's plenty to do here even for littles. Before we move on to Animal Kingdom, if you haven't yet planned your Walt Disney World trip and it is your first time ever going, make sure you watch my first video, the 5 biggest mistakes families make the first time they're planning a trip to Walt Disney World. Last but not least, Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom in its current state, like I said, this is September 2025, has only 7 rides. This also includes the Wildlife Express train that takes you up to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Out of the 7, there are 2 rides plus the Wildlife Express train that are any height, and those are Navi River Journey and the Kilimanjaro Safari. That leaves us with 4 height requirement rides, and those are Kelly River Rapids at 38 inches, Dinosaur at 40 inches, and remember this one's closing in February 2026. Avatar Flight of Passage, which is 44 inches, and Expedition Everest, which is also 44 inches. Right now, and into 2026, I feel like if you're planning to visit Animal Kingdom, a park hopper ticket may be in the cards for you. That way you can spend the rest of the day visiting another park. And if you're wondering if park hopping is going to be worth it for you, that is actually going to be my next video. We're going to be talking about park hopping at both Disney World and Universal Orlando. So I hope you'll come back to watch that one next. Here are a few quick tips if you have children that are not quite tall enough to ride all of the rides in Walt Disney World. The first one is measure at home so you have an idea of what your child will be able to ride. Then show them all of those attractions that they'll be able to ride. Not necessarily spoil them with POVs, but just point them out and be like, you'll be able to do this and this and this, just to get them excited. That way they're not focused on the things that they can't do. The other one is take advantage of rider switch. When my daughter wasn't big enough to ride some of the rides that my son wanted to do, we would take advantage of rider switch. It's a great system that they use. That way both parents can ride an attraction and the kiddo that is tall enough could go on it twice. This is actually why I tell people all the time, take your children to Walt Disney World young. That way you can see them get so excited to finally be tall enough to ride these different rides. It was so much fun to see my son every trip for a few years have one more ride that he can ride, and same with my daughter. It really is just so fun. So there you have it. That's the breakdown of every ride in Walt Disney World and its height requirement. Truly, most of the rides in Disney are any height rides, meaning no matter how tall or young your kiddo is, there'll be something for them to do. If this video helped you at all, please hit the like button, and I hope you'll subscribe for all the future videos. Until next time, I'm Stephanie, and find a little magic in your everyday.